Although some of us are super completionists when we play our games and don't rest until we've explored every crevice of every map and picked up every single unnecessary item, there's something pretty awesome about powering your way through a game as fast as possible, like when you did when you were a kid and you used those warp zone pipes at the end of Mario levels. Or was that yesterday? I don't remember. But anyway, a large community has sprung up around the practice of speedrunning, which is a pretty simple idea. Complete a video game in the shortest period of possible time. Speedrunning videos can be found all over the internet, and part of their appeal is that it's kind of mesmerizing to watch games get completed at what seems like impossibly short periods of time. So how is it that speedrunners are consistently shattering world records? Obviously, being really good at a game and having tons of practice does help, but many speedrunners commonly employ other tactics to push their times from being merely very good to truly remarkable. One fundamental concept is route planning. To ensure that a speedrunner doesn't get mired in some time-consuming part of a level, this involves studying a level very, very closely or simply playing through it many, many times to figure out which route presents the fewest obstacles and difficult time-consuming enemies, or even the best shortcuts to time-saving power-ups to allow them to finish the level in the shortest possible time. Since many competitive speedrunners are fighting for every last millisecond, it's not uncommon for them to even keep track of parts of the game that are prone to lag and system slowdowns and avoid those as well. Although some speedruns are indeed done cleanly and nothing but practice and route planning and lots of practice are put into play, it's more common to see faster runs that employ some form of sequence breaking, which entails doing something out of order in the game. Sometimes this is done by executing precise moves to get to an area that is not really meant to be reachable at that point in time, but more often speedrunners will take advantages of glitches in the game to skip ahead and save huge amounts of time. Since it can take a long time for the gaming community to discover and exploit these kinds of glitches, older games are often more popular for speedrunning. The number of well-developed emulators available for older games and platforms has also made speedruns of retro titles enormously popular. Not only because emulators allow people to try their hand at speedrunning without the original console or without one that's still working, but also because emulators have opened up a different method called tool-assisted speedrunning, or TAS. TAS takes advantage of emulator tools like being able to save the game at any particular instant, called a save state. This allows the player to piece together a near-perfect run even if they make a mistake. Another one is slowing down the game to such a low speed that a speedrunner can execute complicated maneuvers that would be virtually impossible to do in real time. This is in order to shave off small little bits of time, and this often involves executing very hard to exploit glitches. For reasons that should seem obvious, TAS is usually considered a separate discipline from regular speedrunning to keep things fair. Tool-assisted runs are often posted so others can enjoy watching the sheer perfection of speeding through a game flawlessly. But unassisted speedrunning is still popular for organized competitions and high-profile speedrunning events, such as things like Games Done Quick, a series of twice-yearly gaming marathons that feature live speedruns while raising money for charity from the viewers, which is awesome. And while watching streams of experienced speedrunners can be a little intimidating to those who have never tried it, you don't need any special skills or equipment to dive right in. Just watch some runs of your favorite games and learn the unique nuances and glitches as you go. Pretty soon, you might be the one atop world leaderboards. And even if not, having fast reflexes is always useful for staving off those unexpected office pranks. Squarespace. If you want to build a website and you want it to look like, oh, nice and pretty and stuff, Squarespace is probably a pretty good idea. You can get templates basically everywhere on the Squarespace website that look just awesome. But if you want to do some special stuff, they also have things like cover pages if you want to do something like a resume, commerce modules if you want to sell things, or whatever. If you want it to make sure it looks pretty on every device, they have responsive design so it can look good on tablets, phones, desktops, Doesn't matter. It's only $8 a month, and if you buy a year, you get a free domain included. That's pretty cool. They have 24/7 live chat and email support, which is super helpful if you have any problems, and it's all basically taken care of for you. I've probably done this integration like 300 times. I think you guys get it at this point, but they've launched something new called Squarespace Circle. It's a community for developers and designers that have exclusive how-to materials, enhanced customer care, and expert insights. So that should hopefully be super helpful. You should check that out. And you should start a trial with no credit card required today, so you can start building your website now. When you go to sign up for Squarespace, make sure to use offer code Linus, however, because you saved 10% off, so you should probably do that. Squarespace, you should. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Check out our other channels like Channel Superfun. Speaking of unexpected office pranks, there's a bunch there. You can see all of them. But if you're like, nah dude, I don't want to see unexpected office pranks, I just want to see like knowledge, then subscribe to TechWiki and come back.